welcome to Flory Models Daily Vlog. Here we're on Thursday the 19th of May 2016, and today has been a far better day. Lots of running around, lots of taking care of things, and it basically started like this. Right, good news by all. This morning, basically been doing emails, bits and pieces, catching up, a couple more to do. So if you haven't had a reply from me from an email direct, shoot it to me again. These things do happen. Okay, so anyway, just had Electro-Wise on the phone, and they found the fault. And it's one of those things where it's like, it could be the worst of the worst, and we were talking motherboards and everything yesterday. Turns out it's an intermittent fault with all things the wireless internet card. So obviously it's got a wireless card on board, and it's got a small fault, and that's what's causing it. So when you take it out, it's absolutely fine, and it's the one thing I never pulled out of the unit. I took the graphics card out, I took all the different, the memory, I swapped it all around, I did everything to it. But it's the one thing, because I thought, well, that can't be that, because let's face it, it's just literally the Wi-Fi card for it, and it's never going to be that in a million years. Yeah, it was. So there we go, that's it. The only thing as well, the PSU, spoken to the guys down there, it is going to be upgraded and all the rest of it. So it was like, right, okay, just a bit worried about the PSU because obviously we've got a lot of USB comes off of it, and he said it is a lower end one and it could cause you problems in the future, so they're putting in a bigger PSU into it, power supply unit. Anyway, it'll be back at 2 o'clock, so I've got to go down and pick it up at 2 o'clock. So to be honest, I'll do some jobs that I've got to do out and about down at the same time, and we'll do it like that. So it's amazing. You always think the worst with these things, especially PCs, and it turns out it's something as easy as that. My only point to it is, how comes the first company didn't pick it up when they said they took it all apart? Anyway, at least it's done, it's coming back, so we're still online for the live stream on Saturday, and then hopefully it'll be here 2 o'clock, I can get it all plugged in and we'll be up and running again, and everything's fine. So, big weight off my mind, 85 quid on labour, 100 quid PSU, and a 15 quid new Wi-Fi card for it. Anyway, we're back up and running, which is the main thing. So, from my point of view, today's quite exciting. I've got 3 deliveries due in. I've got to have a word with the sales team, which is why I've got to pop out at 2 o'clock. They've got some stuff down there for me as well, which I need to bring back here for some reviews, which I'm quite excited about, because one of them is for my next bit of armour. To be honest, I've got the aftermarket Takom tracks, which is something we'll speak about when we do it, but how comes Takom do aftermarket tracks for their own kit? Why don't you just put it in the kit? But anyway, I've been waiting for those to come in. Those have come in, so they are down there. I've got something else for you sci-fi fans that are going to absolutely go wild over. Don't know if I'll show you yet. I might hint at it on a vlog like this, but certainly it won't go up on the site for a couple of weeks. A couple of little bits and pieces I want to do about it, but I'm just trying to expand our realm of modelling and everything that goes on like that. And I'm thinking, you know, obviously I intend to do, just to calm down you guys, but a little bit of Gundam in the future, a little bit more sci-fi. I know a lot of you have been asking for the Star Wars stuff and stuff like that, but also some other more I don't know what you call it, cosplay stroke prop items, stuff like that, which I think has something definitely to do with modelling, and there's lots of things out there. Anyway, to be honest, this has turned up on my doorstep. I've got to do 2 because one's actually a commission and one's for me. It's one of those things, when I do a commission, sometimes I see it and I think, I would love to do that. I'd love to own one of those. So this is one of those items that's going to come in. And you know, you never know, I can turn the business out of just doing what's going to come in. So I'm quite excited about it, and I know I'm teasing you massively about it, but if it does come in this afternoon, which it is due, then obviously I will give you a sneak peek of it, and then say a couple of weeks, we'll get things settled down, moved on, definitely with the 190. Osprey will be out of the way by then. I'll be working on the Chieftain, and I might slip this in on this side of the bench, and it's going to be more of a vlog style thing. It's not going to be so much overhead cameras and all stuff like this. It's going to be a vlog style, so it should be a little bit more fun, a little bit more interactive. We can do a history about the item as well, so a little bit of background about the originals, trying to recreate the originals and everything else like that. So anyway, now I've teased you completely. So I'm going to get on with the Osprey. The camera is all ready, as you can see. The camera is all set up, black screen, I hate that thing, and everything else, so we can get going with that one. Going to get the Osprey put together today, which is be absolutely fantastic if we can do that. Then I've got the reviews coming in this afternoon, so we're going to do some filming. Probably get the review up, it just depends. I might use the other computer for it and let it render. It might be up a little bit later, but we can get the reviews done. I might do the ones on the snips and the little bits today, and then tomorrow get some of the kit reviews up, because we have got some kits coming in with you as well. So there we go. So let's see how we get on this morning. Okay, so we just had our first delivery in, so here we go. Something a little bit different. We'll have our unboxing. So this one is from Creative. So what do we got in here? Just I do have to say, yeah, normally, as you know, I don't give shout outs to companies and all the rest of it, but I do have to say that Creative are one of the best, fastest companies for getting anything out. Okay, they are uber quick. If I just, so I can make sure you can see. Okay, so down in here, in one, we have, this is the new T55 from Takom, the AMW version. Okay, this is the medium one. Looking around, the reason I went for this is because it's got the reactive armour on the front, and as Steve points out, anything with bricks on it looks good. Okay, so we got that one. This is the Chieftain Mark II. Okay, so we've got a complete set of Chieftains over there. So now we've got the Chieftain Mark 11, the Mark 5, and the Mark 10. Okay, so now we've got the Mark II as well. Okay. We've also got this guy. Now this is something obviously we'll be reviewing a little bit later. We're going to look at the Chieftain anyway, but these are the replacement tracks. Now as you know, I am planning on doing the actual the Mark, probably going to be doing the Mark 10. I don't know, I might throw it open to you. Seems we've got all the different versions now, you can call it, but these are the simple click together tracks with the pads. Okay, so instead of messing around with all that horrible stuff, but why they don't include these in the kit is absolutely beyond me. We've also got something down in here. We were talking about this the other day. So I've actually got in a Russian weathering set. So we've got different filters for the different things. And so we've got a bit of pigment in here and the filters and the actual colours for doing Russian modern armour weathering. Okay. The other thing I've got in here is, to be honest, this was on sale. Couldn't resist it. It was absolute peanuts. So I thought we'd get Cylon Raider in. And also I have got the Battlestar Galactica over there to do, and I saw the upgrade set for it, which is basically the guns, and there's a few other little bits of photo etch in there, and some decals and everything else, so I couldn't resist that either. So we've actually gone for that one. And that should be about it. Just a little delivery for me this week. Nothing too much. Hopefully, as I say, I'll be getting those reviewed this afternoon, just to keep you in the loop as we go over here. As you can see, we've got I've had to redo the seam underneath here, which is a complete pain because I used this stuff, which is one of those things where you think you're doing right and you think you're being very nice. So we got the surface primer. I put that, if you remember, underneath the bottom of this, and then what's happened is it's melted in. This is obviously a hot product, okay, so it's actually melted the softer plastic and gone in. I've got a small little gap on the tail there, but the tail's in and everything else. So just as I was about to run it over to primer, I saw it's got it down and there's a little bit of a problem. We rescribed the tops of these guys. Come on, camera, focus in. Okay, so they're done as well, and everything else like that. So actually, we're coming along very, very nicely. If we can get that to focus. Come on, camera. Why don't you want to focus that close? There we go. But you see, we rescribed all of these and taken care of those because, to be honest, they were a little bit nasty. We put these together. It's a shame that they actually don't do those with an angle, so we could actually have it folded up. But generally, it's going very, very well. Still expecting 2 deliveries to come in. When they come in, obviously, you'll see those as well. So what I'm going to do now is clear this all away. Get it all sorted out, cleared down, move out everything. I might pop over and get the computer earlier before I start the reviews, or I might do the reviews, get it edited on one of the computers upstairs, and then obviously that one can be rendering, which will take forever. And then I can go out, do the post run, pop down to the sales team and go and get the computer all at the same time. So as you can see, we are back up and running. The unit is back in, it's working as good as ever. I must admit, it's one of those things, it really makes you think, and at the end of the day, a lot of it is my fault. I should have backed up everything a little bit better, but it's one of those things you do get a little bit complacent. Over here, we finished doing the review. It's edited and it's up on the site now for the cutters. Thank you, Joel, for sending these. Absolutely fantastic job. They worked an absolute treat, I must say. We did a couple of little on tests with them, and we put them directly up against my old green scissors, as you can see, and I must say these worked exceptionally well. Really nice. It's just the handles, they're just a bit big and clunky and everything else like that. Big thank you for everybody who got in touch on the forum. We'll just make our way around. I know how you all hate this tracking job, it's easy for me. Let me just turn that off in the old background. Okay, some of you have said about the Wi-Fi, why do we use Wi-Fi and all the rest of it. As you know, this is quite an old house, as in it's almost 100 years old now, so the walls are very thick. This is an extension part of the house, if you like. The Wi-Fi box, to be honest, is just up there, but we do run it. We have it running through the system where you have plugs and you plug them in the wall. I don't know actually what the technical term for them is, and we run it like that. The thing is, occasionally it drops out. For whatever reason, old wiring, all the rest of it. So what happens is then it automatically flicks onto Wi-Fi. Now this has happened actually on a couple of live streams just for a few minutes, and then it comes back online and it resets itself, and then away we go. So it is almost like a catch net, because as soon as the hard wiring off the LAN system, when that fails, then the Wi-Fi cuts in, so forth and so on. So that's why we sort of use it. Plus the fact it was already in the PC and it's just what it does. So I can't remember who mentioned it. Somebody, Simon, you were saying about it. I'm surprised. Oh no, yeah, you're surprised we've still got Wi-Fi running around the home. It's not. It is a hardwired. I don't know if you remember when we was doing the early streaming, we had loads of trouble with it. But needless to say, it's back. It's working. I have to thank what they called, something or other. Forgotten their names now. Electro-wise for doing that one. I know I was moaning about the fee they charged, but there was no labour charge on top. So literally, I've put in a new PSU just to future-proof it, because it is going to get upgraded as soon as the new graphics cards come out, the Nvidia ones. It's going to have a new motherboard chip, and then what happened is the guts out of this one will go into the one upstairs. So we have one down here that's fast, it's capable of doing everything we need for the live streaming especially, and everything else like that. So what I'm about to do now, if you can see it just over here, is we've got the Chieftain Mark II. Now we've already reviewed the Chieftain, as we know, so there's no point going over it, but what I am going to play with is the tracks, because I am going to do the Chieftain next. So I want to have a look at the tracks, and we're going to do those as a bit of a review, and then hopefully both of those will be up today, and then we've got a couple of kits and things like that which I'm going to review tomorrow. So I might do that T55, because I do like the look of that one. I know it's the Tackham one, it seems like Tackham Day, but I have got some aircraft kits coming in next week and we can look at those as well. But I'm still 2 deliveries missing, and one of them I'm getting a bit worried about, because it should have been here yesterday, it's not here today. But I don't want to spoil the surprise, but that's the sci-fi thing that we were talking about earlier, so I'm going to have to get in contact with them and perhaps chase it up. So there we go, thank you for today, and I'll catch you all in tonight's news show. Okay, so as you can see, computer is back. I must admit, it's down there rendering the Chieftain review at the moment. It's great to have it back. It's amazing. Yes, I know, back everything up. I know everyone now sees my video and they're like, oh God, look, and you've all gone around backing up. You should, and I have as well. As soon as it came back, I've backed it up. But luckily, as you said, we've never lost anything. We would never have lost anything anyway, because everything is backed up. It's just not having a decent, powerful computer to do all the work that we do here is a bit of a nightmare, because trust me, doing it on the old one upstairs was a complete nightmare. But I must thank everybody for all your feedback, suggestions, all your bits and pieces. As I say, I think it's one of those things, everybody's right, but because it was the Wi-Fi card, who knew? Literally, I'm thinking it can't be the Wi-Fi card because it's just this tiny little thing. But yeah, it was something as simple as that, and the system was just looping because it just couldn't detect it, and all the rest of it. So yeah, a bit of a weird one, I know, but you know what computers are like, they're like cars, you know, what breaks with some person, totally different with somebody else, and all the rest of it. Anyway, it's going to go in for a birthday maybe next month now, as soon as the new Nvidia cards go, and I'll keep you up to date on that one, because I know some of you are into your tech and your bits and pieces, and I'll talk about it a bit more when it happens. So anyway, kit reviews in. Yes, we got the Chieftain up. As I said, that's reviewing at the moment. I'm not going to spoil it, but don't buy the tracks if you've got any of the Chieftain tanks, because they're the same. Yes, I got completely caught with that one. I was hoping they would be an upgrade to the tracks, i.e. workable would be nice, let's face it. They're not. They're the same tracks in here, and they charge you 15 quid. No, it's not 15, I think it's 12 quid for the privilege of those tracks. Fine if you're going to use them on the Tamiya one, because they will fit the Tamiya one as well, because obviously it gives you a better track than the old rubber band types of things that they've got. But definitely do not buy them if you've already got one of the Chieftains, because it's exactly the same tracks that are in that one. What we got down here as well, you got this review up as well. Joel, one of our members on the site, sent me these. Big thank you, Joel. That is very generous of you, because as I say, these things are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. So he's done a set for me and a set for Steve. Okay, but I've reviewed them, I've viewed them. I love this little tool here, this sort of deburring, I call it, but mold seam line remover. It's such a handy, and I love the engineering on these things. They're absolutely fantastic. The cutters, okay, I'm still not a convent. I do love my orange, not green. I don't know. I was looking at a green mat, one of those things. Cutters, but yeah, definitely. I can see their place, and I know why people like them, because they give it a positive, clean cut, and these are very, very nice. They're very good, but I don't know, perhaps it's old age or something with me, but I do prefer these. You can just get in there and they snip and they do the business. These ones I just find they're quite, I don't know. As I say, I'm pretty convinced it's more user error than the product itself. It's just from my point of view, I'm so used to using orange scissors and there's a hand, I grab and go. These I just find a little bit cumbersome, but if you're used to using spring-loaded ones and things like that, then fair play to you. But I love the engineering, and definitely if I'm doing something where I need to get in there, perhaps a bit thicker parts and stuff like that, I'll definitely be using these. But they are going to be on my side. I say tools I keep next to me, I know it's my disposal one, but these two will live there as well. But this deburrer, I can imagine me using it all the time, and maybe even moving away from the Alec ones, because this guy is really sharp. It's got the curve on there as well. You can roughly work out your curves, unless it's something like a missile. But generally, just taking out that seam line, this thing is a really handy little tool. And as I say, I just love the engineering on it. So there we go. That's it for today. I'll be back with you tomorrow, where we will actually have the T55 and we'll have all the forum update. We're going to have a look around at some of your work, Flow on the Go tomorrow, and all the bits and pieces like that, because actually I've run out of time today because I only just got that back a couple of hours ago and everything else like that. But again, thank you for all your advice and help on PCs, all the tech things. What I'm going to do is this weekend, I've got a bit of time, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to look at them. But the good news is, obviously, is that now it's back and everything else like that, we are still online for doing live stream with us on Saturday morning with Phil and Steve, where we'll be working on our Dolphin helicopters. I'm going to probably do a little bit of work on it tonight, because we want to get the glass work in so we can get it buttoned up and start to move forward with the actual build and everything else like that. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.